I posted a video a couple of months ago now, as I always do that time of year, about my goals for the upcoming season. And I'll still be racing the Mammoth 200 in late September, which is a new race in California. But as I mentioned in that video, I was still hoping to find a second event for earlier in the summer to train for in the meantime. I'd struck out in the lotteries for Hard Rock, for Western States, and the Leadville 100, but there was still one more race that I applied to that I was still holding out hope for. And this won't be a surprise if you follow me over on Instagram, but I realized that I've yet to mention it here on YouTube. And I've got some updates on a couple of other things that I'll be sharing in this video as well. The Badwater 135 has been on my bucket list for years, but I always assumed that it would take multiple attempts to get in. But it turns out I was wrong. With a bunch of tough 100-milers under my belt, including 2 Badwater preferred qualifiers, like the recent Swiss Alps 100, along with a few 200-plus mile races, and plenty of experience racing in the desert in events like the Grand de Grand Ultra and the Namib Desert Race, I guess the organizers at Badwater figured that I was indeed up for the challenge. So on July 7th, I'll be lining up in Death Valley with 99 others to take on what is said to be one of the toughest foot races on the planet. We'll be running 135 miles in the hottest place at the hottest time of the year, where temperatures can soar past 50 degrees Celsius. And of course, I'll be documenting the entire adventure for YouTube with the help of cinematographer and my friend Derek Lytle. Now, my plan is to talk about not only the heat training in lead up to the race, but to try to quantify the effects that the environment will be having on my body during the event itself. One of the things that makes this race so challenging is that there are no aid stations. You have to provide your own crew, who in turn will provide support. And on that crew, I'll have a friend and doctor join me named Paul, who will not only be there in case something goes wrong, but will also help to track some of my vitals, my fluid intake, and potentially even my urine output and composition. We're still trying to figure out exactly what all this will look like, but my goal is to make a film that goes beyond me just sort of complaining about how hot the race is the entire time. I want to actually be able to explain what is happening to my body. We'll also be tracking some of the key metrics with blood work over the coming months to see how I'm adapting to the heat training that I'll be doing as well. So really excited to bring that story to you, hopefully within a few months of the race. Now, in terms of trips, we were originally planning to take a group with us to Peru here in the spring to trek the Salcante route to Machu Picchu. But we decided soon after I published that last video to push this trip out to the fall instead. Permits have become increasingly difficult to secure on that route, and it turns out they're non-transferable. So we simply hadn't left ourselves enough time after launching registration for the trip to get everybody confirmed so last minute. Now, fortunately, it seems like almost everyone who had signed up is going to join us now in October instead, and we've got a handful of additional spots still available. This is an 8-day guided trek that will take us along the much more adventurous and less crowded route to Machu Picchu, with bag transfers and meals included, with a combination of hotels and glamping along the way. I visited Peru years ago, but I've never done this route, so I am super excited. Check out the link in the description to learn more and to secure your spot if you're interested. Now, our fast pack on the Tour de Mont Blanc is unfortunately sold out, but there is a wait list for that one in case you would like to add your name to that in case of a cancellation. But we do have just 2 spots left for Audrey's women's only fast pack on the Alta Via 1 in the Dolomites. This 6-day adventure will retrace the route that Audrey and I did last year, where you'll stay in refugios and eat amazing food along the way. And we've yet to release our film from that adventure, but it really is one of the most beautiful routes that we've ever done. And I'll link to both of those in the description as well. Now, we've had a few other things come up already this season. I had a last-minute invitation to join the Craft Elite running team at their training camp in Tuscany just a couple of weeks ago, where we ran sections of the route for the Chianti Ultra Trail by UTMB, a race that took place just over the weekend here. So expect to see footage from that soon in the first episode of my 2025 Time on Feet. We'll also now be heading to Cocodona for the week of the race, where I'll be pacing a friend as we take in all of the action. And then at the end of that week, I'll be running the Flagstaff 39-miler. So we'll have some content coming from all of that as well. But for me, this really is all now training towards Badwater in July. So I've got a lot of heat training in my near future, both passive heat training in the sauna and active heat training, likely in a heat suit on the treadmill, where I'll be channeling my inner David Roche. You can follow along with my training this season on Strava if you're not following me there already, as well as on Instagram, where I tend to post updates a little more frequently than here on YouTube. I'll link to both of those in the description below. As always, sign up for my newsletter as well if you haven't already, so that you never miss a video. And consider becoming a paying channel member to support our work. You can get access to additional content like director's commentaries, along with access to our exclusive Discord community, where we can share stories and learn from each other as well.